You know, the ego is a big thing for us people. We like feeling that we're special. Why? Because there's 7 billion people on Earth and we all kind of look alike. It's like, what makes me special? What makes me different from them? And we have to find something that does that for us. For a lot of people, it's finding that you're better than them, like more intelligent or more distinguished. This is why a lot of people talk about the 90s. Only 90s kids will remember this. People like to have something that makes them different from other people. You like this music, but I like this music instead. If you both like music, that's the same thing, and it can make you look less original from them. But if you tell yourself that the music that you like is better than the music that they like, it gives you something over them. It gives you a sense of belonging. It gives you a sense of value. Like you're better at this than them. You have more purpose than they do. And a lot of people do this, especially when they're younger. Because when you're younger and you're in that awkward phase where you're figuring out what you are, you have to figure out what you're not. And a lot of people do a lot of stupid stuff they regret. And one thing is acting just bad, like cringe-inducing to watch. And that's the thing about today's day and the internet. You can post a video of yourself doing something and it's for everyone to see. I saw a video on Reddit yesterday of some kid complaining about how he wasn't born in the 70s because they had good music like Queen or Nirvana. I actually don't know. I believe those were from the 70s, but he's talking about how he likes those music. And it's just so much better than today's music. He feels distinguished because he likes this. But the thing you have to realize is the 70s was also the day of the disco. A lot of people listen to disco. A lot of people listen to a lot of stuff that we just don't care about today. People like to listen to bad music or just mindless music that doesn't mean anything. It's like our Nicki Minaj or our Justin Bieber or our One Direction of today. This music always exists. It's just that we don't remember that when we look back. But the thing is, it's always popular in the modern day. Why? Because people like stuff to dance to. It's always in the clubs. It's always playing at parties. It's something fun to dance to. And if you're going to dance to something, you have to be familiar with it. That's why we like to follow this stuff. And it gets big at first, but it doesn't last. I mean, how many of these songs do you still hear, like, that were aired 5 years ago? How many of them do you still hear? How many of them regularly come up? They're normally a fad, and then they just go away. And the people who make the music just fade out of our consciousness. But people who make good music that impact us in some way, we stay with them. Even when time goes, we still think of them as great, and we pass that on culturally. That's why we think of the good stuff years ahead, and none of the bad stuff. Like, everybody knows what disco is, but how many people actually know disco music? How many of you can name 5 disco songs off the top of your head, like you could a rock song, or a pop song, or a hip-hop song? You just can't do it. You can't think of it. It's not something that we think about. That's what I'm saying. When you look back in the past, you aren't just seeing 70s music. You're seeing the popular 70s music that was good. And there's always good and bad stuff in every generation, in every year. For me, it's not about looking in the past and seeing what was good and saying, I think this is good also. I think the most impressive thing is when you can find modern day music that people don't know about, but you like it anyway. You found it and it means something to you. In my mind, that shows that you're distinguished, and it shows that you're maybe intelligent or you like looking for things. Or at least you can look past the top 40s chart. Whatever the reason, you're able to find something that people didn't, or it means something to you that it doesn't for others. That's what sets you apart. Finding your own treasure, not just taking what other people have and counting it as your own treasure. I think that's a lot more impressive in my book. So, yeah, liking something that millions of other people already like doesn't make you special and a unique flower. Finding your own treasure does.